Oh boy. I'm not going to talk about the casting this entire video, just from this timestamp. I don't feel like getting on camera, so I'm just going to use this picture of me dressed as a sea witch since it's mermaid themed. Anyway, the teaser trailer to The Little Mermaid came out. I can't see the dislikes, but I've heard there are reportedly over 1 million. I watched the teaser trailer. It was okay. It's just a teaser. It didn't do much to get me excited for the movie, but I thought it was okay. Ariel sounded good. It's a personal pet peeve of mine when singers add too much instead of keeping it simple.
Wish I could
But that's a personal pet peeve, and it still sounded good. But I knew there was bound to be controversy. Here's an article talking about the racist backlash to the trailer. If you're not aware, there was controversy since the casting of Ariel was announced. People saying that the actress does not look like the original Disney Little Mermaid, and they should have casted someone who looks more like the original. Here's my take on this. On one hand, the appearance of Ariel is not relevant to the story. Her having a light or dark complexion does not affect the plot in any way. She just has to be a mermaid. However, if you dislike this change, does that automatically make you racist? No. Don't get me wrong, if someone is racist, they're not going to like this. But not everyone who dislikes it is racist. I get that Ariel is fictional, so it's not a matter of historical accuracy. This is, however, an already established character. Disney is not creating a new character or a new story. They are relying on the original character and story. Like this story. And when people complained that the new actors for the remake did not look like the original. Now, is that a different circumstance? Maybe, maybe not, but if you are counting on fans of the original to pay and watch the movie, don't be surprised when some of them dislike deviations from the source material. It's fine to want diversity and representation, but it is going to be a problem if you can't critique the movie without being called a racist. And you probably can't critique the movie without being called racist, if you can't even critique the teaser without being called racist. In this article, they pointed out that some criticisms of the teaser were that, 1, it didn't look like Ariel was underwater, and 2, the scene was dull and not well lit. And yet, what was the title of the article? Oh yeah, racist. If this is the plan of the marketing of the film, to label critics as racist, I don't see that tactic doing well. For example, Elizabeth Banks already tried something like this with the Charlie's Angels remake. Instead of racism, it was sexism.
My real plea is for men to have enough empathy to go see movies starring women. Because I've been asked to go see movies starring men my entire life, and happily have done so. And I don't know why men don't return that favor.
For an example of the opposite, here's Henry Cavill when asked about toxic fans regarding The Witcher.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
I'm not saying there are no racists. Obviously, there will be racist people who will talk negatively about the movie. I think the smart thing to do would be to ignore them, not give them any attention. Don't focus on race, because if you call out racist backlash, unless you are calling out specific examples and specific people, you are painting everyone who criticizes the movie with the same racist brush. You're lumping them all together. That's not going to endear you to the public and make them change their minds. As I said, the trailer was okay. It doesn't show too much because it's just a teaser. I do have some predictions I would like to make about the remake. This is going to be fun because I want to see how many I get right. 1. The original Little Mermaid has a runtime of 83 minutes. The remakes always seem to be longer. I'll say it will be 116 minutes. I don't know why. I just feel good about that number. 2. They're going to have a non-straight character. I don't think it will be a main character, otherwise Disney would have already bragged about it. But I think it will be at least implied about one of the minor characters. Or at the very least, they're going to have a fish and drag. That's just my guess. I don't think Disney can help themselves at this point. Number 3. Is it just me, or is it trendy now to have more sympathetic villains? In the original, we don't sympathize with Ursula at all. Even though she's a little fun, but we don't sympathize with her. In the Broadway Little Mermaid, Ursula sings a song either called I Want the Good Times Back, or a song called Daddy's Little Angel. She sings of how she was banished and Triton took everything away from her, but it's not a song that endears you to the character. Especially in Daddy's Little Angel, when she sings about removing her sisters. Number 4. They have to have the main songs, of course. Part of Your World, Under the Sea, Poor Unfortunate Souls, and Kiss the Girl. They may not have the others, though. They'll also have a new song that Ariel sings, so it can be an Oscar nomination. I really want them to sing the If Only Quartet, but I highly doubt they will because of my next prediction. Number 5. I saw this article. Little Mermaid and Snow White remakes are not all about a boy, stars confirm. Yeah, I've heard this argument before from Keira Knightley.
I really like the film, but Little Mermaid. I mean, the songs are great, but do not give your voice up for a man. Hello? Wow. Oh, so yeah.
Even though it was never just about a boy, and she didn't give up her voice for a man. She gave her voice up so she could have legs, because she was obsessed with humans, and even sang a whole song about it. But my prediction is that there is going to be less romance. They may still sing Kiss the Girl because it's such a classic, but they may make it more of a comedy, tongue-in-cheek song. So, less romance in general, which I don't like because I like simple romantic fairy tales. So those are my 5 predictions. If I watch the movie, I'll probably have some criticisms about it. I understand it's difficult to do a remake. You may ask, do they even need to do a remake? The answer is, it doesn't matter. It's about money, and they think they'll make a lot of money, so of course they will. It will be difficult because there's always going to be comparison to the original and something that people don't like. And if I'm going to criticize their plot, I think it's only fair and fun to tell you what I would have done. You can't make a copy and paste of the original because, well, then what's the point? But you have to do something a little different, and they want to modernize it. Fine, I can work with that. First of all, I wouldn't give Ursula a sympathetic backstory. Not saying that's wrong, but that would take too much focus away from Ariel. I would have the plot be similar to the original, up until after Ariel gets legs. She meets Eric, the man she says she loves. He takes her to his castle, she gets clothes to wear, she goes to dinner, and she meets Eric's fiancé. That's right, she didn't know he was engaged. She should have found out more about her supposed true love before she made the deal with the sea witch. The fiancé, Princess Vanessa, is beautiful and nice and smart. There's nothing wrong with her, but it becomes clear that Vanessa and Eric just aren't compatible. He has a better connection with Ariel, even though she can't even talk. Vanessa tells Eric that she can't spend tomorrow with him since she will be too busy. She suggests Eric give Ariel a tour of the kingdom. This only draws Eric and Ariel closer together. On the evening of the second day, Ariel finds Eric by the sea. He is marrying Vanessa tomorrow. He fiddles with his wedding ring, putting it on his finger, then pulling it off, then putting it on again. Eric explains to Ariel that it is his duty as a prince to marry Vanessa for the benefit of both their kingdoms. He says this to Ariel, but also to convince himself to do the right thing. But he convinces no one. Eric looks at Ariel with such longing and leans forward to kiss her. Ariel leans forward, but then she stops, looks down at the ring on his finger, and moves away. If it is his duty to marry Vanessa, she must not jeopardize that in any way. Now that she has gotten to know him, even though she still wants him, she wants what is best for him. Even though she has just sealed her fate, she is willing to live with the consequences of her actions. Meanwhile, Vanessa has also begun to have doubts. She talks to herself, voicing her concerns, and determines that the best course of action would be to call off the wedding. Unfortunately, someone else hears. The next morning it is the wedding day. Vanessa acts strangely. She is unkind to Ariel and says she does not want her at the wedding, even though a few days ago Ariel was invited. Ariel stays behind and the wedding party leaves. As Ariel wanders along the beach, she finds Vanessa, the real Vanessa, trapped in a cave. Vanessa explains that a terrifying sea creature emerged from the sea, trapped her, and then took on her appearance. Ursula is marrying the prince to ensure the wedding continues so he can't kiss Ariel. Ariel and Vanessa work together to stop the wedding. The magic seashell breaks, and Ariel gets her voice back, but it's too late. The rest is similar. Triton makes a deal with Ursula attacks Ariel, Eric helps fight and skewers Ursula with a boat, everyone is saved. But Ariel doesn't become human at the end. It doesn't end with a wedding with Eric and Ariel because if we want to modernize it, then it wouldn't make sense for them to marry since they just met. Ariel returns to the sea and reconciles with her father instead. Vanessa talks to Eric and says that they should call off their engagement. She knows he is in love with Ariel. He should find her and tell her. He needs no farther encouragement. He takes his boat and sails off in search of her. The story ends hopefully, but still with room for a sequel. Anyway, that's my idea. Thank you all for watching. Bye!